All right, awesome. JMC 6000 here, right outside the JMC garage. And before us, we have the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Outer Banks Edition. So this is all loaned for me from Ford. So thank you, Ford. Thank you also, Mike White Ford of Coeur d'Alene, for letting me have this vehicle at least for a week or so. So what I wanted to do in this video is kind of go over a few things about the Bronco Sport, and then towards the end of the video, I'll give my 3 likes and dislikes, what overall I think of this Bronco Sport and everything about it. So let's begin around the outside. We'll do a quick walk around. This particular Bronco Sport, again, is the Outer Banks Edition. As you can see there, kind of like, it's not the top grade Badlands, but it's right below the Badlands. So we have the Outer Banks. It comes with these 18-inch rims with Michelin Primacy AS tires. Absolute junk tires. I absolutely hate them, but they're good for a stock tire. They need to be upgraded. Come around, it says Bronco Sport in white lettering on the back here. Have the little rear wiper. You have a combination, as most of you know, have a combination of LED surround with incandescent for the brake, the turn signal, and the backup. LED dog on it. That guy right there, license plate lights. There we go. And also with the side profile you see here, this is in the cactus gray color. Not a big fan of the color, but it's all right. It looks decent. I just want more. I like darker and deeper grays. This is kind of not my color, my style, but it works for this thing. You have the optional black rooftop with the roof rails, which are dealer installed, and then also you have a sunroof on this model as well. All right, come around the front. Again, we have LED headlights, LED running lights, LED turn signals, and a thing that's been going away on new cars is LED fog lights. For some reason, new cars, I think it's because LED lights are so bright and their headlights are so bright, you really don't need fog lights. So let's go ahead and see what's underneath the hood. So what comes standard on the Outer Banks Edition is a mighty 1.5 liter Ecoboost 3-cylinder, which is this guy right here. If you can see underneath all the hoses and wires and everything else, there's actually a 3-cylinder engine under here. This particular engine, which I'm going to go a little bit into my drive portion, is the 1.5 3-cylinder Dragon Ecoboost inline 3. And what's unique about this, it's based off of the 1 liter 3-cylinder that they had introduced. I think it was introduced in 2013, 2012. But they basically, Ford took what they did with the 1 liter, and that was kind of designed in Europe, and they just take this one and made all the improvements to it. So gone is the timing belt, the internal oil-based timing belt. That's totally gone. Gone are the issues that that 1 liter had. This actually uses a timing chain instead of a timing belt. And also has a chain-driven oil pump as well instead of an oil pump drive belt as well. It does have a plastic oil pan at the bottom, but all the rest of the engine, the block, the head, even the valve cover right here, and the timing cover are all aluminum. As you can see, this engine here is direct and port injected. The direct injection, the injectors are right on top here. There's a fuel rail, excuse me, right here. And the port injection fuel rail is right here. You can see the individual injectors right there. It has a turbo mounted in the back. It takes fresh air from the air box, brings it around, gets compressed in the turbo. Then the turbo has an intercooler, an air-to-air intercooler up front, and then it comes back around, goes into the throttle body right here, and then it goes in and goes right into the engine. So again, this is a 1.5 3-cylinder Dragon Ecoboost inline 3. So here we go. All right, and it also comes with an 8-speed Ford 8-speed automatic. I believe it's an 8F35, if I remember correctly. So let's go ahead and go into the driving portion of this review, and then at the end of that, I'll give my kind of 3 likes, dislikes, and my final thoughts over this Bronco Sport. All right, come join me in the driving portion. All right, JMC 6000 here in the driving portion of the Bronco Sport. And what I wanted to talk about in this video is not only how the Bronco Sport drives, which surprisingly enough, it drives just like the Maverick. It drives just like the Escape because it's based off the same C2 architecture platform. One of the things I want to focus on in this video is just some of the shortcomings on this particular platform and the powertrain. So the powertrain in this, in this Outer Banks edition is the 1.5 Ecoboost, which I've said before, paired with the 8-speed automatic. This is an all-wheel drive unit. And one of the shortcomings that I found out with this powertrain is one, actually the 1.5, now this is before the MPC, so this is the 1.5 3-cylinder Dragon engine family, and it's very pokey, I would have to say it. It has good mid-range, once the turbo spooled up, good low end, good mid-range, kind of runs out of steam pretty quick up on the top end, but good mid-range, good low end, and I have to say, and it pairs pretty well with the 8-speed. Sometimes it can get a little jerky. The traditional front-wheel drive jerkiness can be a little excessive on this particular unit. But other than that, it's actually a pretty willing, pretty smooth partner. Again, the vehicle I'm driving has about almost 5,000 miles on it, so it's definitely not brand new, but it definitely is already been broken in, if that's the best way to put it. Other than that, as far as driving-wise, one of the shortcomings with this particular C2 architecture that I don't feel in the Maverick, and I really don't feel in the Escape, but I feel in the Bronco Sport here, is that because the wheelbase is so much shorter, I feel like it has a tendency to kind of like be, I don't know how else to put it, but it be a little, I guess, a little swervy, kind of, so to speak. You can definitely feel a teeterness in this particular vehicle that I don't feel. It's not very, it's not as sure-footed as the Escape, not as sure-footed as the Maverick, and that's pretty explanatory because of how the short wheelbase, the short overhangs, the short front end overhang, just because of the off-road nature of the Bronco Sport. But it handles corners just fine. Again, the powertrain has plenty of punch to it. I've been so far pretty impressed with this 1.5 Dragon 3-cylinder and the 8-speed. Again, kind of the herky-jerkiness and everything else. Also, to report, fuel economy has been pretty decent, averaging right around 32 miles per gallon. I've seen upwards of 38 miles per gallon on pure highway, but averaging with a mixture right around 30 to 32. So pretty decent fuel economy. Anyway, that's my driving portion. Kind of want to do an explanatory of this powertrain. So let's get into the interior and then the final thoughts of what I like and dislike about this particular Bronco Sport Outer Banks edition. Awesome. All right, final thoughts and 3 likes and dislikes that I have. We'll go over the interior real quick of the 2023 Ford Bronco Sport Outer Banks edition. In fact, let's go ahead and look at the window sticker while we're at it. Window sticker on this bad boy right here. $42,135, and you might say, wow, that's a lot of money for a Bronco Sport. And I have to agree with you. It's quite a bit of money for a Bronco Sport, but it does have quite a bit of options on this particular guy. The power moonroof being one of them, black roof, Ford Copilot 360 Assist Plus, which includes adaptive cruise, lane centering, those niceties there. The floor liners without carpeted floor mats, this particular model has. Class 2 trailer tow package, cargo management system. The tech package, which is about $1,300, includes a wireless charging pad, HD radio, B&O sound system, which I have to admit, the B&O sound system does sound really good in this rig. And then the universal garage door opener, which is on this visor right here. So the base price for this is $35,600 with options of about almost $5,000, and then with destination you come up to the $42,000 price tag. So with my 3 likes and dislikes, we're going to go over the interior real quick. Obviously this interior feels familiar to me. because I own a Ford Maverick, and the Maverick and the Bronco Sport are built in the same factory down in Mexico. They roll off the same assembly line. So this interior feels very familiar. In fact, the mirrors, the door handles, a few other things are actually shared. The door handles inside here are actually shared with the Maverick. So the glove box handle and door is all shared with the Maverick, which is understandable. They're built in the same factory. Of course, want to share quite a few of the same parts. This whole assembly here is just the same as what's in the Maverick. So let's go over a few things and my likes and dislikes, along with, we'll go over the interior. We'll go over my 3 likes. Number 1 like has to be how comfortable this thing is to drive. Despite its shorter wheelbase, and as I said in the drive, the tendency to kind of be a little, I don't know, a little I don't know how else to put it, not quirky, but a little squirrely at times. It is a really comfortable riding vehicle. It drives very well. I like the steering wheel. Again, it's basically the same steering wheel that's in the Maverick, except instead of having the Ford symbol, you have the Bronco symbol on the steering wheel. Again, same steering wheel that's in the Maverick. I think the seats are, number 2 like about this thing has to be the seats. I absolutely love these seats. My son doesn't like them, but I think the seats are nice and comfortable. I love the combination of the leather and the cloth. I love the Bronco embroidery and the cloth up here. This cloth feels extra nice and supple. I really do like the seats. I really do like the cloth in the seats. I think they're great. And I have to say, number 3 like has to be the powertrain. I'm kind of a fan of this little 3-cylinder. Now, this is different from the MPC 3-cylinder that's in the current Escape. But I have to say that powertrain is actually pretty nice. I mean, it's somewhat smooth. I mean, at idle, it can get a little vibrated like with any 3-cylinder. But for the most part, it's actually a smooth powertrain. Very peppy. It runs out of steam quick, but that's with any Ecoboost engine. But very peppy off the line. Great mid-range torque. It actually has a somewhat decent sound to it for being a 3-cylinder. It doesn't sound like a sewing machine like the 2-liter Ecoboost does. That's in the Maverick. Not the MPC Ecoboost, but the 2-liter that would be in this or in the Maverick or some other vehicles. Anyway, now for some dislikes that I have with this Bronco Sport. Number 1, one of the dislikes I have is has to be the kind of interaction with some different things. And what I mean by that is the interaction with the touch screen and with the controls here. Not only is it disconnected physically, but it feels somewhat disconnected. It doesn't feel like it's, I don't know how I should put it, but it doesn't feel very well integrated. I know people like physical controls, and I get that. I understand that. But with this small touchscreen, and then you don't have a digital readout anymore, Ford stopped doing that for this year. It's just weird. I don't know where my temperature is unless I turn the knob. Anyway, I feel like there's a disconnect from here to here. I know they remedied that over in the new Escape. That's remedied in the new Mustang. That's being remedied in the new F-150. And Ford is bringing a little bit more integration. But this whole older system here, it seems somewhat, it feels disconnected. And, I mean, if you're going to have climate controls that are separate from the screen, fine, make them separate, but give me some readouts and don't make it pop up in the screen every time I do a fan change or a climate change or whatever. Anyway, it doesn't need to be connected to this small screen here. So that's kind of my first quibble. Second thing that I don't like is the sunroof. Let me demonstrate. So the sunroof's opening. And many times as I'm driving down the road, even with the cover closed, I can hear the sunroof vibrate. And it bugs the living daylights out of me. The sunroof doesn't leak or anything like that, but I can hear it vibrate. And I've tried playing with it, tried closing it, tried opening it again, tried closing it. And then still, as I'm going down the road, I hit a few bumps, I can hear this stupid thing vibrate. And it's driving me nuts. Anyway, it's something that maybe the dealer has to look at. I have no idea, but that's another. I don't like sunroofs as it is, and this particular one I wouldn't even put on the option list because I can't stand sunroofs that vibrate, and I can't stand sunroofs in general. If you're going to have a glass roof, give me a fixed glass roof. Don't give me a stupid sunroof, but that's just a quibble of mine. And then finally, number 3 dislike I have with this particular Ford Bronco Sport has to be the overall looks. Now, this is just, I know looks are subjective. This is just me, but I'm not a big fan of the boxy style. If it was me personally, I'd rather take the Escape over this because I like the lines, the looks, especially the ST line Escape actually looks amazing, and I think looks so much better than the quote-unquote baby Bronco. But I really like the interior in this. I think Ford did a good job with this interior. Again, very reminiscent of the Maverick, except with nicer materials. I love that this whole upper portion here is nice and padded. This portion on the dash here with this unique texture is nice and padded. Up on here, we have good texturized material. I love how all the knobs, this is a bonus now, I love how all the knobs have kind of a rubberized quality feel to them, whether it be the turn dial shifter or the goat modes or the temperature controls. They all have this rubberized feel to them, and I really enjoy that. The leather on the armrest and over here feels really nice and comfortable, and good space in the back as well. In fact, we didn't show the back. Let's go ahead and do that now, and I'll give my final thoughts on the Bronco Sports. Oh, yeah, we're going to show that. That's pretty cool. I like the zipper pockets in the back here, very unique. And the air vents. One of the things that I wish Ford would have done for the Maverick is giving us the air vents. I mean, they're built in the same factory. Why not give us air vents in the back of the Maverick? I know it's a small pickup, but still, it would have been nice, and my son would have really appreciated it. But anyway. But what's cool about the Bronco Sport that many of you know, you can open up the glass separate from the hatch, which is very cool. And then not only that, now you have the hatch open. And then also, this comes with the cover here. This was an extra option, but it came with this, which is pretty nice. So it's nice to have this here. And then under here, you have a full-size spare tire. Look at that. So that's a nice bonus feature, is they actually have a full-size spare. You have these cool lights right back here, these little puddle lights that kind of shine, and you can change direction of them, which is pretty cool. So anyway, that's what I wanted to give a review. So final thoughts on the Bronco Sport. Would I take this over the Maverick or over the Escape? No. I love the interior of the Escape SG line. In fact, I love that more than this. And I love the integration of the Sync 4 system over the Sync 3 and the dividing of the climate control. Some people like that, and I understand that, but I think it's better integrated, and it actually looks better versus the Bronco Sport. Now, don't get me wrong, the Bronco Sport's a nice vehicle. I just don't think it's actually worth the money they're asking, which is a little high, compared to the Maverick or compared to the Escape. What's amazing to me is this is more expensive than the Escape, and I think the Escape is a more, the current Escape, the 2023 Escape, is actually a better, more comfortable vehicle than the Bronco Sport. But for what it is, it's a good vehicle, and I appreciate Ford giving me a loan of this. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything you want to add, maybe you own a Bronco Sport and want to tell of your tales, how you went off-road. I've heard these are very, very capable, especially the Badlands edition of going off-road. Can do crazy things that no other CUV, SUV can do, which is pretty unique for being a smaller vehicle, which its competition is the Jeep Compass, Renegade, competition of the CR-V to a certain extent, and some others. I won't even say Nissan Rogue. That's more of an Escape competition there. But anyway, it falls right in line with that. So if you have any questions, comments, or if you know somebody, or maybe yourself owns a Bronco Sport and have some experience with it, please drop it a line, send a comment, and I'd love to read those, love to answer those as much as I can. I upload every single Wednesday morning, so like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you'll be alerted every time I go, not only upload a video on Wednesday, but also when I go live on Saturday evenings. All right, you guys be blessed, have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you in the next one.